What's going on, everyone? So today could be the beginning of a very pivotal point for the Lakers. So the Lakers 1-0. Thank you, right? First time since 2016 that the Lakers are 1-0. But now you have a back-to-back stretch. And it doesn't let up from here, but with this back-to-back, particularly so early, and both games at home. So it's not a back-to-back where you're going to Phoenix and then you're, going from and flying from Phoenix to Sacramento, and it's you're in LA. So you get to finish this game, you get to go home, get in your bed. Still a back-to-back, which is never good, but you don't want to get too far behind the eight ball, especially in this Western Conference. And you would like to see that tough game and then kind of the more lax game where it's okay, you could maybe rest LeBron this game. We can't right now, and especially this early. I don't think the Lakers are in a position to be sitting anybody. Now, the injury report that came out yesterday, everyone appears to be playing this game, and I hope that's the case against Sacramento. Also, real quick, before I dive into this video any further, for those that like the post-game stream, just a reminder for those that were in the stream, you might have already heard this, for those that weren't in the last game stream, today and tomorrow's game, I may not be able to do a post-game stream. I got a wedding, and I am the best man in the wedding, so I have to be there, and we got to do the rehearsals and all that stuff late evening, so I don't know if I'll be back in time, and then the wedding is on Saturday, and reception and all that stuff. I don't know if I'll be back in time or in the condition to do a live stream, right? Point is, just a heads up for those that really like the post-game streams. Just wanted to give you a little heads up. But diving into the actual video itself, again, you have these two games in which if you win these, now you're 3-0. You got two more tough games and a Phoenix game that you got to play again, this time in Phoenix. And I love the Phoenix matchup. I just really think it's a great matchup for the Lakers. I think Phoenix's lack of defense, I think the Lakers' size and physicality is a real problem for Phoenix. But Phoenix is good enough to win a game or two against the Lakers. And you don't want to end up 2-2, right? Say you beat Phoenix and you lose Sacramento, or you lose to Phoenix and then you play Sacramento. But also, Sacramento has had the Lakers' number the last few years. Anthony Davis has never beaten Sabonis, right? These are the things where all of a sudden you look up and it's oh no, right? Now the Lakers went from super high, excited, yes, let's go Lakers 1-0, beat Minnesota, to now we're 1-2, and we got Phoenix again in Phoenix, and we got the Cleveland Cavaliers, right, in Cleveland. It's just, you don't want to be in that spot. You don't want to be in that position to where now you're trying to play catch up and you're scrambling to get back to the top. No, I'd rather just handle business, right? Get it done today, have the game plan and execution today in the more favorable matchup, right? Obviously, if Phoenix just shoots the lights out or something crazy like that, then there's no control. But I'm talking about under normal circumstances, go in, dominate the basketball game, have the game plan, right? Ride Dalton Connect's back because he dominated Phoenix the last go around, so maybe he could do that again. But in all seriousness, right? This is your moment here where we could really start gaining momentum to get into the season, or that momentum can start trickling back, and now it's oh, right? Because once you get through the Cavs game, and though you get through that 5-game stretch, then it kind of starts lightening up. It still has some tough stretches, but it's not as brutal as these first 5 games. So if you can make it out of here 4-1, at worst 3-2. I said a while back that I thought that they'd be 3-2. I'd like that to be different. I also really like how JJ Redick has this team prepared. I really like how the offense looks. I really like the game plans and defensive schemes. It's not just a generic, hey, go out there. But no, he's literally game planning and strategizing for each individual team. So he's going to have a game plan for Phoenix. Then he's going to have a game plan for the Sacramento Kings. And he's had these extra times to prepare. Obviously, there's certain variables and stuff like that go into a basketball game, but I really am confident in this team, and I am really confident in JJ Redick in particular and this coaching staff, because this coaching staff is really good too, right? Like JJ Redick, he's the front man, he's the face, he's going to get a lot of credit and recognition, which he should, but Scott Brooks, Nate McMillan, Lindsey Harding, St. John, like all these guys go down the list are all excellent coaches that are all working together with JJ, put the Lakers in the best position possible. And I'd love to be 2-0. Not only would we be 2-0, but follow that up with a sack win, especially having that 80 Sabonis, and 80 finally gets that win against Sabonis, and now all of a sudden we're 3-0 heading into that road stint, rather than we're 1-2 or 2-1 or something. I want to get these through 3 home games, and I want to make sure we're handling business and getting this win, right? Like, because it's just every game matters, period. And I know, like, people are gonna, so what? This game doesn't matter, but that game. No, it's not that, but it's just when you're in the Western Conference, right? And we've seen how tight it is, and it's probably just going to be just as tight, if not tighter, this season, this go around. That literally every game, yes, is important, but it's even more important being in the West. Right? You're in the East, you drop a game or two. It's not that big of a deal, right? Like, a team could start 1-2 and lose 5 straight or something like that, and all of a sudden you look up and they're still like the 4th seed, right? Like that happens in the Western Conference, you're cooked. Right? Like literally going on like an extended losing streak could be the difference between you being in the play-in or you being in an actual playoff spot. I mean, 2 games decided what, like 4th and 7th, right? Like, it's just like, that's a big hurdle. It's a big jump when you're like looking at, literally 2-3 games could be the difference. And the last few years, the Lakers have done a very good job of just digging themselves these holes, these trenches that they just have to scratch, claw, and climb out of in order just to get into the playoffs. And, one year we had the deep playoff run where we got to the Western Conference Finals. And then last year we ran into Denver. And a lot of people thought, hey, if you don't play Denver or if you beat Denver, you're probably in the finals. But guess what? We played Denver. Denver ended up handing it to us. All of a sudden you look up and it's like, oh, well, there you go, right? So I'm curious to see how does this game go? Also with Phoenix and their offense. Right? How does our defense stack up against their offense? How does our defensive schemes? Where, Minnesota, I really worry about their offense. Right? I really worry about their lack of floor spacing and stuff like that. Right? Like, I mean, they miss shots. Don't get me wrong. And the Lakers' defense, I thought, was very good and very active, and the hustle and energy and effort was there. But like, how do we look against team like Phoenix that have Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, right? Several scoring options that can just really light it up in a hurry. Do we have a game plan to slow them down? I'm not really worried about us on the offensive side of things. I think we get whatever we want against Phoenix. Phoenix lacks size and they have no defense. Like, if I'm being honest, I think Phoenix is the last of our worries as far as stopping us goes, but can we, A, score enough and shoot well enough to beat Phoenix? Because look, we could look great and get all the quality looks and get everything we want, but if we're shooting 17% from 3 again, you can only get away with that for so long. Eventually that poor shooting is going to catch up to you. And last year even D'Lo ended up having a historically great season, but he shot terrible to start the season. He was like 31% for like a quarter of the season. And then same thing with Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves, he was 0 of 5, and he has not shot the ball well through preseason. So I worry about him. Rui Hachimura, not really too concerned yet. He was 1 of 4. LeBron was 1 of 4, but not really worried about them yet. I think that they'll be fine. But like, these are the kind of things that you have to worry about. You got to start getting tight, right? You got to start getting things together. And I really want to see the Lakers look up and we're 3-0. Right? And it's like, okay, here we go. But it starts with the first game. First game is Phoenix. Got to go in LA. You're in home. Protect home court. That's all I'm asking. right? You got 2 home games. Win these 2 home games. That's it. That's all I need you to do. Start 3-0, and then let's get into that other Phoenix game. Let's get into that Cavs game and kind of see what happens and live with the result, right? Like, let's see how it plays out. But for now, you got a back-to-back. It sucks you got a back-to-back game 2 and 3 of the season. Like, why? But at least you're at home. You're not doing all this traveling. You're not doing all this craziness. Does suck that it's like 2, playoff level teams. But I mean, that's the Western Conference period, right? Like, every game against a Western team is a playoff level team, right? Outside of like 2 or 3 teams in the West, every night you're playing somebody that is more likely than not playoff, or has the likelihood of being playoff bound. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But again, got to win this game. Start 2-0. Follow that up with a win against Sacramento. Be 3-0. Let's go start building some confidence here. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comments below. Also, again, remember today's game and tomorrow's game. Not sure if I'm going to be able to do a post-game stream. If I can, I will. Or even if I can just like step aside and maybe do like a quick 30-minute one or something, I will. But I'm more likely than not probably not going to get a post-game stream. But anyway, how do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot, as we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.